Tangerine, the Healthy Start Pack, and of course the Jordan Rubin Suero V products and Amasai and delicious, unbelievably delicious probiotic cheese, probiotic enriched cheese. Jordan breeds his own cattle. This guy's amazing, by the way. If you don't know who Jordan Rubin is, look him up. He is an amazing, amazing human being, brilliant and kind and spiritual and just a beautiful guy. And he's got beautiful products as well. I've been studying his work now for going on probably 15 years or so, since the early 2000s. In any case, Jordan cured himself of Crohn's disease without drugs, without doctors, although he tried drugs and doctors. He just used nutrition. He just used dietary strategy. He wrote a bunch of books about it, sold his company, and now he farms. Now he's a gentleman farmer. Actually, he's a real farmer. He's out there on the farm breeding cattle and breeding special cattle that produce milk and dairy that doesn't contain the problematic proteins that so many people have issues with when they're eating cheese or drinking milk. And his probiotic-enriched cheese is without the problematic proteins, so many people who have dairy allergies can use the cheese. And let me tell you something. I don't have dairy allergies, but I love this stuff. And you're going to find it very difficult to go back to regular cheese once you try the artisan cheddar cheese. That's the only one I've tried. And man, is that stuff awesome. Anyway, you can find out all about it by pulling down on the shopping cart at brightsideben.com. Of course, you can also call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. They can tell you all about it. Okay, a couple of things. We'll get your phone calls here in just a minute. We'll continue talking about prostaglandins, finish up prostaglandins tomorrow, and then we'll talk about this special class of chemicals that is not solid material at all. Really, really cool stuff. Signaling molecules that aren't solid material in the body, and there's a few very interesting ones. And we'll tell you about that tomorrow as we continue talking about signaling molecules. A couple things real quick, and then we'll get to your phone calls. This is from medicinenet.com yesterday. Certain painkillers tied to raised risk of death after a stroke. Arthritis pain relievers, known as COX-2 inhibitors. These are supposedly the non-toxic alternatives to the typical non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like Motrin and naproxen and acetaminophen, even aspirin. The COX-2 inhibitors are called, Celebrex is the most famous, are associated with an increased risk of dying within a month after a stroke. And folks, that is because of prostaglandins. COX-2 inhibitors inhibit prostaglandins. And you can't inhibit prostaglandins. You can't inhibit hormones pharmacologically. This is the stupidest, dumbest idea in all of health. And we just assume that it's normal and regular, and we got the most deified profession in our culture handing these things out like candy. And, it's absurd, really, when you think about it. Who the heck thinks it's a good idea to poison the body to make us feel better? This is idiotic. And it's not a surprise either when you read headlines like certain painkillers tied to risk of death after stroke. And you don't even need an article or a study to tell you that you're going to have a problem if you poison signaling molecules, if you dumb the body down. Yesterday, there was another article, this one from Red Flag News. By the way, if you don't know what Red Flag News is, and you have a smartphone, get the app. They got some really cool stories on here. This is from Red Flag News. Glenn Beck reveals serious health scare. I'm not a big Glenn Beck fan, although some of the stuff he says is pretty cool. And he does write a lot, and he's very prolific. Apparently, Glenn Beck, according to this article, has anyway, it says here, Glenn Beck on Monday revealed the true extent of his health issues, saying he can no longer keep what happened a secret from his friends, staff, or audience. Apparently, Glenn Beck has something called neuropathy. Neuropathy is just simply a pathology of your nerves. That's all it is. It's nothing fancy. Your nerves are sick. What makes your nerves sick? The same thing that makes everything else sick. When you say you have neuropathy, what you really mean is you have nerve cell pathology. You have nerve cell disease. It's all about the cells, you guys. That's the only diseases there are, cell disease. All disease is cell disease, as we say all the time on the bright side. All disease is cell disease. Neuropathy is nerve cell disease. Why is this important? Because there's only 3 things, or maybe 4, that cause nerve cell disease, which is such good news because it means there's only 3 things we need to do if we have any kind of neuropathy or any other degenerative disease. All disease is cell disease, and all cell disease comes from toxicity, starvation, and suffocation. This leads to an inflammation or a barricading, a protective response, which leads to more suffocation, starvation, and toxification. So if you got neuropathy, Glenn Beck, and somebody should get to Glenn Beck, and we can cure them right away. If you have neuropathy, we can reverse it. I don't like the word cure. We can reverse it right away. Why? How? by eliminating toxicity, which especially means food and sugar. Make no mistake about it. Sugar can function as a toxin in high amounts. You need a little bit, but in higher amounts, it functions as a toxin. So you eliminate toxicity. And the best detox program is a fast, in my opinion. You make sure you're respirating correctly, deep breathing to oxygenate and blowing off carbon dioxide and acidity and toxicity for that matter. And make sure you're on the Mighty 90 essential nutrients and getting enough of your macronutrients, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Does that sound simple? It is. Does that sound too simple? It is. Yes, it's simple. And you don't need a doctor for this. I want somebody to call me at 877-300-7645 and tell me why the heck anybody thinks a doctor can help them with a starvation, suffocation, and intoxication issue. Anybody think that? Are there any doctors listening? Will you call me and tell me? Where is the logic to thinking we need medical intervention for starvation, toxification, and suffocation? Do you need a doctor to teach us to breathe? Do we need a doctor to nutriate us? Do we need a doctor to eliminate toxicity? No. So why are they doing it? Well, we can guess why they're doing it. There's a lot of money to be made in drugging America. There's a lot of money to be made in surgically manipulating and removing organs. And there's a lot of money to be made in radiation. And that's horrific and ugly. All right. That's my rant for today. I'm Pharmacist Ben, 877-300-7645. Carol in Washington, what's going on?
Is that me?
That would be you. What's up?
Oh, goody. Okay. Two things, dry mouth and
Yes.
PAD.
PAD,
AD.
peripheral artery disease. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
PAD. Okay. That means your body's messed up. It's not you. I'm just being a little facetious, but really that's what it is. A dry mouth is a sign of an activated stress response. That's why people get dry mouth when they're scared. Do you ever have to do public speaking and you got scared, Carol?
Yeah.
Did you ever get dry mouth when that happens? You know what I'm talking about? When you're freaked out a little bit?
I never had to. I usually get my dry mouth at night when I'm in sleeping bed.
That's even worse because that means you're not sleeping well. That means your stress response is activated while you're sleeping. You know, sleeping's funny because we can push away yucky thoughts, and that's a big reason why cortisol and the stress response is activated is mentally and emotionally. Human beings are really one of the few animals, some of the higher animals probably, but only higher animals get activated stress response mentally and emotionally. And during the day, we can push crappy thoughts and crappy feelings down. We can repress them. But at night, we can't repress them. At night, they all come pouring out. And this is one of the reasons why the stress response becomes activated at night. And this is where sleep apnea comes from. This is where insomnia comes from. And certainly this is where dry mouth comes from. Do you have insomnia, by the way? Do you have problems sleeping? Or do you wake up in the middle of the night? Anything like that, Carol? Wake up in the middle of the night, can't go back to sleep. Hang tight. We'll finish up when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 877-300-7645 is our number on the bright side. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a shout. We're coming back right after this. Carol, don't go away. And if you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to you as well. We'll be back after this.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
This winter, next to water and food, you need a safe, storable fuel supply for your preparedness needs. Spare fuel is the answer. Unlike gasoline, spare fuel can be safely stored with your other supplies for many years and works in any gas-powered vehicle or backup generator. With the bitterly cold temperatures predicted for this winter, now is the best time to stock up on spare fuel. So go to GetSpareFuel.com. That's GetSpareFuel.com. GetSpareFuel.com.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
If you need to say happy birthday, happy anniversary, thank you, or simply I'm thinking of you, ProFlowers.com is the key. ProFlowers has stunning bouquets, like the best-selling 100 blooms for $19.99. Plus, ProFlowers will include a glass vase for free. Sending someone a wonderful surprise of beautiful flowers sent fresh from the fields is easy. Choose the bouquet you like, pick the delivery date, and each order is 100% guaranteed. Plus, all bouquets from ProFlowers are guaranteed to last at least 7 full days. Beautiful, fragrant flowers, picked fresh and sent to your loved one for lasting enjoyment. To get this incredible savings and send someone 100 gorgeous blooms with a free vase for $19.99, go to ProFlowers.com. Click the blue microphone in the top right corner and enter code PLOW. That's ProFlowers.com. Click the mic and enter code PLOW.
The nation's largest independently owned and operated talk radio network. The Genesis Communications Network. GCN.
All right, we are back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thank you for being here. 877-300-7645 is our number if you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs. If you want to join me and my friend Dixie Sedgwick on our weekly phone calls, please call in Sunday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. East Coast Time. 605-562-3140 is the dial-in number. 605-562-3140. Participant access code 444-973 # this Sunday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll be talking about the Biolumin Nightly Essence, probiotics. GI or digestive issues affect 60 to 80 million Americans. That's 1 out of 4 or 5 Americans has some kind of digestive or gastrointestinal GI issue. Nearly 50 million doctor visits and 20 million or more hospitalizations are due to GI problems. Almost all, I shouldn't say almost all, 10% or so of inpatient hospital procedures are performed for intestinal issues. That's according to Dr. David Brownstein. Probiotics are one of the best all-time remedies for digestive health issues, including IBS and ulcerative colitis, really all digestive health issues. They're just a must-have. They're an essential nutrient. They are an essential nutrient. By definition, you need them. You can't make them. They're not a vitamin or a mineral. They're their own kind of classification, but man, are they important. And we'll be talking about probiotics. and the Biolumin Nightly Essence, which is not just probiotics and not just a bunch of probiotics and multiple strains of probiotics, but also has digestive enzymes in there that'll help you digest your food, help you thin your blood, and help